There's nothing you can do. There's nothing they can do. You are risking getting a fine for not complying with the Ontario Reopening Act, but we can also put you in contact with people who are happy to help you fight these fines at no charge to you.
So, we'll film it for evidence.
Cool. There is one unmarked vehicle out here, but if you walk out, and I encourage you to record your whole process of walking out, there is also about 30 people out here who are ready to protect you. No, I don't think you will get arrested. What has happened to those who have walked out is they later at their home address get a ticket, a fine. And in this, we can connect you with people who will happily fight that fine for you. You think you're gonna do that? Yeah, I hear you, and you shouldn't be in there. There's no need. This goes directly against our Charter of Rights. This goes against everything. We are a free country. And so we're here to support you if you want to come out today. Okay, so you're gonna come down?
Yes.
Awesome. I strongly encourage you to film the entire time you are walking out. Just walk.
They're going to lie to you and then try and intimidate you.
Yeah, they're going to try and intimidate you. They're going to try and tell you you can't leave. But if you just tell them, I am leaving now, and continue to film the full experience, people have walked out of the exact same position you are in, and none of their lies were truthful. And so know that it is absolutely within your rights to walk out of this building right now. Cool. Pack up. We'll be waiting for you.
Look what?
Okay. Bye. I don't know his name, but he's totally coming down. He's totally coming down.
On the camera right now.
Awesome. Thank you.
We need to get ready to film them
Yeah.
just in case they...
Hi.
So tell me what happened there.
Yeah, I didn't catch his name. I got a little bit too excited, but we have a friend up there who has submitted his negative test results and was told that he would be able to leave today and now can't get a hold of anybody, and he's tired of waiting. He says his car is here in the parking lot and he is afraid of being arrested. He said he told them earlier that he was going to leave, and he said that a bunch of cops came up and were all parked down here, and he was intimidated of being arrested. And when he saw us today, we informed him of his rights and what others have done who are in the same position of him. So he says he's packing up his bag right now. He's going to film his experience down, and we're all going to film him when he comes to the front door here and make sure he gets to his car safely.
Awesome.
Yeah, wonderful.
Let's the cops down.
Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
So basically, we went round to the side of the hotel because they'd moved them, and I'd done the siren, and a guy comes to the window and he's waving out. So yeah, cool. So we put the number there, and he called Stephanie. So basically, he said that his car's in the parking lot. He's got a negative result, but they won't let him leave. They said, no, you can't leave. So Stephanie reminded him that basically Charter of Rights and the rest of it, and they're holding him against his will. So he said, yeah, I'm going to pack up, I'm going to come down. So with that, the police officers must have got wind of it. They started walking into the fort, and we now think that they confiscated his phone, because Stephanie tried to call back and she could hear the police in the background, but yeah, he can't answer. So yeah, it looks like they've infiltrated him, and they've obviously intimidated him, threatened him, and that's all we know at this point. So hopefully he does make it out. because he really shouldn't be in there. So yeah, that's all we know at the moment. But there's another person right there just waving out, so perhaps they'll call. So yeah,
Thank you.
it's a very sad situation right now, but we're making progress.
Anything new? The police went in when they found out that he was coming out, and they trying to intimidate him, persuade him not to go out.
So I got a brief 5 seconds before the phone was hung up, and I heard an officer say to him, "You are breaking the Ontario Reopening Act," and then the phone was hung up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and as you saw, many went in to intimidate him, and I know that this is what he was afraid of. When he, you know the story, when he left earlier, they came and they brought all of the police out to intimidate him, and I believe that this is what those officers just did. I'm waiting for him to get back to his room, give him a few minutes, if that's where he's going, or to walk out, which is what I'm hoping. But it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to walk past a bunch of big, broadly intimidated men who are telling you that they're going to arrest you. At the moment he walked out of his room, all of these officers went into the building. And I heard them on the phone. I heard them talking to him. And the fact that they've all returned and he hasn't, I'm going to go see if he's at his window right now, because it's just intimidation. It's so messed up. It's so messed up that this is happening in Canada.
And almost 1,000 children under the age of 16 suicide in a year.
Yeah.
In a year.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for suicide anyway, but kids, I can't see these kids suffer anymore.
Yeah.
And basically, we want to be the voice for them. We want them to talk if they want to. So it's not about us. It's not about one person. It's a movement that we are organising right now. And we are going to tackle the ministry, and we are going to hold these teachers accountable, because at the end of the day, they go into the profession, for the good. And here's the thing. The teachers, we all learned about the protests and everything, the standoff, because of their terms and conditions. Yeah. So how about they get up off their bums and they're there for the children? Yeah. It pains me that when they were on lockdown, I was home tutoring my daughter Isla, and the teacher was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see you back at school. I want to see your new designs on your mask." That is normalising.
You're right.
Normalising
100%.
the fact that they've got to be muzzled, because I don't call them masks, I call them muzzles.
Yeah.
That's what they are. Face diapers or muzzles. And
the
then
only
they're
mask I've ever worn is the one we sell, which is masks are useless.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we will talk about that later.
Absolutely,
okay.
yeah, I'll be in touch. Yeah, so I was just telling David, that's basically what we're going to be doing. We're going to be also targeting the Ministry of Education, and we're going to try and get these masks, or muzzles as I say, off these children.
It's a form of child abuse. A lot of people are saying.
Absolutely. So one day I was at a rally, or whatever you want to call it, down in Vaughan, and there was a police officer there. He was very nice, and I said to him, "Have you got a child?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I said, "Let's go back before the COVID." Okay, right. All of a sudden, I said to my child, "You're not leaving your room. When you do leave your room, you go out in public, you're going to wear a mask. Yeah, you're going to sanitize with alcohol, which is toxic. And you're going to do all these other protocols. You're not going to talk to your friends." I said, "Would you charge me with child abuse?" And he looked at me blank in the face. I said, "Yeah, exactly, because it is child abuse. If a parent done that to a child, it would be deemed child abuse. But because the government say, hey, it's okay, it's not okay." So yeah, that's the project we're working on at the moment. I mean, this is terrible.
What is going on with the police? Why are they cooperating with these authoritarian, fascist kind of government actions?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's not. We need to understand it's not all police. I've got a friend. He's a cop. He's a very nice man. And I've also met other cops. They're brilliant. They're very peaceful and everything. I believe that these cops over here are being handpicked. They're being handpicked because they're the kind that, they like to come down heavy. Mm-hmm. I don't think they really understand the ramifications of what they're doing. I really don't. I think, they put on the uniform, they put on the mask, they think they're hidden behind the mask, and they're almost dehumanized.
Right.
That probably happened back in Nazi Germany. When I make comparisons about Nazi Germany, people say to me like, "Oh no, come on, Craig. Well, it started somewhere, didn't it? It started somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning, but it's not the end." So I just want people. We need numbers. We need people to stop looking the other way. And I feel at the moment that a lot of people are looking the other way. A lot of people are frustrated with everything, all the lockdowns and that. And they show support. And I always say, come with us. Okay, we need numbers. But I guess sometimes they're a little bit fearful of their jobs or losing whatever. Maybe some of them are comfortable. You know, I'm talking about the general public here. But they need to understand if they're comfortable now, they're going to be extremely uncomfortable when this really comes into plan.
Are you surprised how rapidly these our rights and freedoms have been taken away?
Yes and no. I am and I'm not. I mean, you know, when you look at the, dare I say, the Agenda 21, it's all written down, it was scripted. You've got the WF, the World Economic Forum, Klaus, he was born in Nazi Germany. You know, and they write it all out for you. They write it all up, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and they write books on it. Even Prince Charles is involved. So at the end of the day, it's all written down there, and it seems to me that it's a damn sick joke. You know, they write books on it, you know, about the fourth industrial revolution. Klaus wrote that, and what was it, COVID-19? Can't remember what the other thing on there was, but yeah, they basically write it and they put it in your face and then they do it. And I think the reason is because they write it down, people are like, whoa, they wouldn't do that. They're telling us what they're going to do, but yeah, they're doing it. So it's almost like, you know, people say about waking up. It's really about thinking outside the box here. I mean, you know, why do people trust the government anyway? You know, I mean, we saw at Christmas. How many politicians went on holiday? You know, whilst everyone was locked down, don't go and see your granny. You know, people get angry about it, but they don't do anything about it. And you know, we need to do something about it. And we need to unite. That's the only way we're going to defeat this. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, I mean, you know, I've been annoyed with things in the past. I have. Have I ever processed it before? No, I hadn't really had the time. But also, you know, we were never in this situation. So I guess I'm kind of exposing myself now, but I will, because we need to fight for the next generation as well. You know, these kids are going to be mentally affected by this, completely mentally affected, and that pains me. You know, I had a bit of a topsy-turvy childhood, I'm not going to go into it, but I was in the care system and everything, you know, and you know, told you can't do this, you can't do that. I cannot imagine if I was a child right now. Well, I can actually. If I was told to wear a mask, I wouldn't, because I was always that kind of person. But the thing is these children, they need the confidence to take off their mask. Yeah? If they all took off their mask, what are they going to do? Yeah?
They're going to shoot them up with Ritalin and whatever other kind of drugs they can get to dope them up into compliance.
They'll try. Maybe then the parents will start sticking up for their children. They brought into this world. I'm a father. I've got a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, like I said. And you know what? Like I said, children have voices. Children matter. Even 6. My daughter's 6. She matters. She has an opinion. All right, it's not as formed as ours, but they still have a brain. They still have an opinion, and they still watch what's going on around them. They matter. They have a voice. I'm going through a bit of a divorce at the moment, you know, custody battle, this, that and the other. And do you know what really irritates me? You go to court and the rest of it, and they pass judgment and everything, but nobody listens to the child. Nobody, you know? No matter what age. My son came to live with me when he was 12. He had more of a voice. He could choose to come live with his father. But they deem them 12 and below as like, no, we're going to make the decision for you. And let's not go into that, it's corrupt anyway, but it is all about money, basically. And, you know, this whole situation now, going back to the subject, is all about money. All about money. If you want the answers, follow the money.
And
you know?
I had a gentleman tell me in Ottawa the other day that they've got 70 vaccines planned for us, and they want to give these vaccines at $100 to $200 a dose to 7 billion people. Add that up. What does that come up to?
Exactly. I mean, you know, even if they give, right, so right now they say, right, we got your COVID vaccine. It's all for free. It's not for free, because the taxpayer picks up the tab, don't they? You know? So basically, it's corruption right the way up through the middle.
Right.
You know, you could say, you know, Bill Gates and the rest of it, they've all got shares in these vaccination companies, but you forget that. You know, oh yeah, and then you've got the one in Oxford is a non-profit. Okay, non-profits, you're doing it for free. Even if you're doing it for free, you're getting off the English taxpayer, okay? And people, I don't deem myself as, I'm not an academic and I'm not really, really smart, but I am awake to it all. You know, I have been for a very long time, and I know you both are too. So when people, why don't they just look at the bigger picture?
Well, the
you know?
fact is that common sense is very uncommon.
Exactly, you've got it, and that's really all you need. You need the ability to actually think. And we seem to have lost the ability to think, not all of us. We
It's
obviously
been done
do.
on purpose. They
That's
are not
right.
teaching critical thinking to
Exactly.
the children in the schools. They
Exactly.
don't want them to be able to think independently and critically.
Exactly. They want them to read out of a textbook, you know, and we could go into the schooling system as well, but that's exactly what it is. And it seems to me some of these people that are academic and they go to university and the rest of it, is they are trained to look at a certain narrative, you know. But in life you need to expand your thoughts outward. If it doesn't make sense, you know, start thinking about that, start looking at this, start looking at that. Use your intuition. We were all born with intuition, you know. I've learned to do that more as I've aged, to be honest with you. But it's really sad. It's really sad. And then you can go into other subjects like, you know, dumbing down the population, you know, fluoride in the water and GMOs and this, that, and the other. You know, we're fed shit. So that's also plays a part as well. So, but it's really, really sad, and it is negative. But I choose to stay positive. You know.
Well, you must be an optimist because you're here,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you want to change things, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once this is all over, we're not going to go back to normal.
No.
It's got to be like way over on the other side. We have to make sure that this kind of thing never ever happens again.
Absolutely. We need to put that in cement. We really, really do. And I see us coming through this. I really do. I'm not a religious person, but I think this is a big spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Some people won't wake up. You know. One for a better word. You hear a lot about wake up, you know, I'm woke or whatever. But this is about waking up, because I know many people that in the beginning they believed it all, and I didn't believe it from day dot. But some people woke up halfway through. Some people woke up last week.
Yeah.
As long as they wake up, that's all that matters. And you know, I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to tell people what to think. I'm here to basically invite people to think.
Right.
And I don't mean here, but
It's
when I
so
talk
rare
to
these
people,
days.
it is. When I talk to people, I'm like, hey, don't listen to me. All right, don't go off what research I may or not have done. Just have a look. Follow the money. Always follow the money. There's always a money trail, because that's the life we live in. A greedy, greedy life. And you know, I say to people, and if we want to talk about this pandemic, I say to people, okay, I know the numbers.
Yeah, but you're not here for money.
No,
I'm
no.
not here for money.
We're here for free. You know what? And I enjoy working for free. I've done charity work before Christmas, and it was the best job I ever had. I've had a well-paid job and the rest of it, but you know, yeah, we are here for freedom, and our time is free. I mean, all of us, we use gas to come down and everything. I don't care, because this is very important. But this is what separates us from them, if you like. They're all about money, about greed, about power. And for some reason, they believe their power and their money gives them a place on this earth, okay? So let's say that they do want to depopulise. Let's say that is true. What gives them the God-given right to say that they get to stay and we got to go, okay? That makes me furious. And you know what? I won't back down. I will not back down, not ever. And I know you guys won't either, because you know I'd rather die for the cause if that's the case than carol in a corner, you know. Because the sad thing about this is the people at the moment that are like, oh no, they're out to protect us, you know, mask up, don't do this, don't do that, just listen to the government. Those people, it might be in their final minutes, they will wake and then they will regret, but they won't be able to repent. It'd be too late. And it's just very, very sad that we are being led off a cliff right now, because we do need numbers. We've seen it in Europe. What touched my heart, I saw in Vienna, the cops took their helmets off and started walking and marching with the people.
Let's pray that they do the same thing here.
Exactly. Germany, we talk about Germany. They had, I think, 100,000 or if not more on the streets. But Germany, I remember in my lifetime, at 42, I remember when the wall came down. You know, so they lived in atrocious times. So they have memory. So unfortunately about Canada, I mean, I've been here 5 years, but what I do see is, I don't know, they've never really been threatened You know,
We've never experienced hardship.
you haven't, and that's not your fault. You know, it's just, it is what it is. It's been a free country, and oh no, not in Canada, because before I moved here, it was like one of the best countries in the world to live in. Rah, rah, rah. And it is, it's a beautiful country. I love the people, you know, I really, really do. But it's time to just stand up. Don't look the other way. If you feel something's off or a bit fishy, then, you know, have a look, find out. You know, just don't look the other way, because looking the other way, you know, it's going to be too late. And that's what I fear at the moment, it's going to be too late. I was in Ottawa on the weekend, a couple of hundred people there. You know, most of the people were from Toronto. You know, a bit disappointed, we were expecting, you know, thousands.
Yeah, but there's a media blackout.
There's a media blackout.
And I think it's shadow banned too. All of the you know, all the Facebook stuff, all that, everything, Google stuff, they're all doing it.
What I say to people now is, if you get fact checked, it means it's true. You know? Yes, it's true. You know, so we've got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I think a lot of it is an overload of information. Even for me, it's overwhelming. I don't read or watch videos, everything people send me. You just can't. There's not enough time in the day, and a lot of it's repetitive. And you know, you're singing to the choir. You know, we already know this stuff. But even for people that do want to have a look at this and that, it's difficult for them because there's a lot of, you know, information. But that's part of it. You know, bullshit baffles brains, and let's bombard, you know, with.
Well, no, but you know what? I really liked what you said earlier about critical thinking, and I think that's a very important point.
Yeah.
And maybe you just want to kind of repeat that one for me, just in
basically.
It.
Basically, critical thinking is, you know, like I said. I mean, as I've aged, we all have intuition. We're born with intuition. I've learned to use mine more often, because when I've gone against intuition, it's kind of like I should have went with the intuition, you know, because the brain and, you know, and your logic comes in and everything. So it's, how does your gut feel? Gut feeling, you know, is not that often wrong. Your gut feeling is there for a reason. So basically, is, you know, not going down a certain narrative, and I just think that, just think, you know, think outside the box, inside the box, outside the box. Just use the brain that we were given with. Don't follow. I've never been a follower. I'm not necessarily a leader, but I've never followed the crowd. Unfortunately, some people always will, and they need to. But even if you feel like you're following the crowd, just, it's okay to ask questions. You know. So basically, that's what it is. But you know, like I said, I think some people are very comfortable right now. You know, some people are like, hey, I used to go and work 40, 50 hours a week and pay this much, now I'm paid this much, I'll just sit on my Xbox or whatever. There are those kind of people out there. Other people are perhaps comfortable from working from home, you know? But what they don't seem to understand is that job that they have working from home is gonna not exist. It's not gonna be there. And then those people are going to be the ones that are crying into their pillow. I won't be, because I know, you know, we have done, hand on heart, we have done everything possible we can. Exhausted every avenue. So, you know, it's not about making peace with myself, because that's just the way I am. You know, I'm a loving person. And that's the other thing that really, really upsets me, is that, you know, the media, when they do report on us, oh, so many people got arrested and they did this and they did that. No, we are peaceful people. Sometimes people are shouting, you know, wake up and the rest of it, but that's it. There obviously are, you know, maybe they got provocateurs in there. I do feel that they got provocateurs. I do feel. Yeah, exactly. And you know, I've been down Toronto and the rest of it, and there's people rousing trouble, and I believe they're put there on purpose. You know, so we lose our cause. You know, they look, the evil regime, the people at the top, the people that are doing this, and there's many. They're clever people. They're clever people, but you know, we can also use reverse psychology. Okay, so if they think they've won, they haven't. They haven't. So there's many ways to win a war, and this is a war that we never started and we don't want. So yeah, like I said, at the moment I think they still have opportunity to back off, start opening things up and the rest of it, but they won't. You know, the big reset that Trudeau brags about, it's happening, it's coming into play. They've already ruined so many. Every day on the radio you're listening, what was it, national sports, they cease to exist. You know, every day you're hearing about places shutting down. And this is what really frustrates me also about people that are like, oh no, we just need to stay at home and the rest of it. Yeah, okay, but at what cost? At what cost, Because you have all these small businesses going under. I know somebody that worked in the restaurant industry, hospitality. He delivers sourced high-end food for high-end restaurants. 50% of them have gone under.
Wow.
Underreported. You don't really hear that on the mainstream media. It's okay, we'll get through this, don't worry. Trudeau's gonna, you've got Serbs and the rest of it. But how do these people think that all the money being dished out is going to be paid? Our children, our grandchildren are going to be paying it. That's if we do get through this, they're still going to be paying it. And forget that. Taxes are going to go up.
They're underreporting the suicides.
Eliminate people! You took this job to protect your community! You are being used as a pawn! You guys look like some smart people!
Oh, there's Jamie. Hey, Jamie.
Maybe a short back of the one.
No, he's the Lion under construction bullshitter.
Right?
Yeah, with the same hat on.
Sorry, her COVID test was 2 hours.
Ma'am,
2 hours old.
Stay back behind the line.
Her.
Behind the line, please. You're going to be
Yeah,
trespassing.
okay. Her test and the 4 children's negative test was 2 hours old.
Get up the road.
How can you justify this? The mother and 4 children's test was 2 hours old, and they have a $12,000 fine. How can you justify your behavior? Tell me, sir. How can you justify this? Have you ever read the Bill of Rights? Have you ever read the Bill of Rights? Have you read the Bill of Rights? Yeah.
What part of it didn't you understand?
They're going to put you in jail. I know they just hired you, okay?
No,
They just hired you, and they're going to put you in
They're
jail.
going to get promotions. They're not
You're
going to get.
disgusting.
They're not going to go to jail. They're going to get promotions.
Disgusting.
That's why they're doing it.